Yo guys, we're MartydudeVR, and it has been a great year for the PSVR2. A lot of games came out, and honestly, we had some really good games that came out this year. And I want to highlight the top 10 that I think I had the most fun with. I think just need to be showed to the world. There's always this weird thing going around the VR community that PSVR2 has no games, and I would like to disagree. I highly disagree with that. And I'm gonna show you guys all my favorite games that I enjoyed in 2025. I've always hailed the PSVR2 as the underdog of consumer VR, and man, it has shown its grace this year with just some really good titles and ports. And also make sure you like and subscribe, guys, if you like this list, and make sure to check out our sponsor of this video, SkolVR. So Skol has some of the best VR gun stocks out there, and I would say honestly the best in terms of performance. I absolutely love the Tomahawk Gunstock. It's really good for Quest, Index, and has PSVR2 attachments. It can fold up, flip, and if you're a person who likes VR shooters, you absolutely need this gun stock. Like, it's legit some of the best aiming I have done like ever in VR. I'll make sure to put a link below in the description and a coupon code MartydudeVR if you want some % off on your purchase. But if you're a person who wants tactical aim in games like Pavlov, Ghost of Tabor, or anything else you play on a PSVR2 that's a shooter, then you have to get a Tomahawk SkolVR Gunstock. All right, bro, so the first game on our list is Underdogs. Underdogs is one of my favorite VR games really of all time. So I played this back before it hit PSVR2, and I played it again when it got ported. It's just a great game. So this is a roguelike mech VR game that does have some semblance of Gorilla Tag movement in terms of getting around, but you literally can't go wrong with this game because it has a UK hip hop soundtrack, and it's actually a dystopian kind of post-apocalyptic world you're in. And it's just a really good game if you like roguelikes. Now, what makes Underdogs different from other VR roguelikes, they have great voice acting, an actual story that you can follow, and there's a lot of NPCs you can interact with in the city and you can either build relations with, or you can slime them out, or you can actually just be cordial with them and make deals. But overall, this game does have a good bit of difficulty to it. And if you have a very small play space, you've been warned. I would say definitely try to get a bigger play space if you're gonna play this, because you will end up breaking something, and I don't wanna be liable. MartydudeVR LLC, it's not liable for whatever you break. But I must say shout out to the Underdogs team, because they are awesome. They always keep up with the updates, and there's just a lot of fun to be had in this game. So if you haven't played it, go play it, because it's cheap on PlayStation right now, $17.99 I think by the time the video comes out. You literally will get hours and hours of fun out of this game. Don't sleep. And if you don't like big mechs fighting other big mechs and other robots, I don't know what to tell you. The next game on our list is The Midnight Walk. So this is one of the most unique VR games to ever touch my eyeballs. So I didn't know what to expect when I first saw this game, because it looked like a very demonic little big planet. You have a little big planet on the PlayStation, but I genuinely really enjoy this game. So there's actually a good story, and this is also a hybrid VR game. If you want to take off your headset and, you know, not be in VR, you can do that. And so in this game, you play as the burnt one. And honestly, if you look at your hands, you are pretty burnt. And you go around this little character named Pop Boy, and you solve puzzles, evade monsters, which are terrifying, by the way, and some of the most tense chase scenes I've experienced in VR. But I think what really makes this game special, other than the fact that it's a hybrid VR game, is the art style. The art style is real claymation-y, and I love it. So as a person who's played Little Big Planet before when I was a kid, I always loved the kind of small puppet-esque, claymation-esque type of games like this. And I feel like this team genuinely killed it on the art design. Now, people think that you need photorealism to make a game immersive, especially in VR. But Midnight Walk proves that you do not need photorealism to make an immersive VR game, especially on the PSVR2 with the OLED. Oh man, being in the dark scenes is like really dark, you know? And some of the colors really pop on this game, especially with the OLED. So yeah, this is one of the most unique VR games on this list, and probably if this won VR game of the year, I wouldn't be mad at it. And if you do play this game, make sure to look around, because the environment itself is alive, it's creepy, it's a little disgusting, and it's just a very great piece of art. Like, this is a very good piece of art. I personally enjoy my time with this game, and I want you guys to enjoy your time with this game. And shout out to the team that made this game, because I want more VR games like this. Like, this kind of mythical, creepy worlds that we can just walk around in. And one thing I have to get this game that's really good is the fact that it has great voice acting. That's missing from a lot of VR games, but this one actually has good voice acting, and it pays off because it helps create that atmosphere of creepiness and just kind of dread that the universe is portraying. So yeah, if you're looking for a spooky VR game, this is it. The third game on our list is Gorn 2. So I played Gorn way back on PC. It was one of my first VR games like ever. And I gotta be honest, I didn't expect the second game, but I thought, okay, what can they really do with the formula of it? But they did really good. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this game because it's just wacky. And I'm definitely gonna speak for myself here, but I really enjoy a very wacky game sometimes. And Gorn 2 really fits that because you can even flip off the bosses to kind of skip dialogue, and it's really funny. So while keeping the original flavor of the first game, Gorn 2 really ups it on the combat, ups it on the boss fights, and just the general enemies you can encounter in the different arenas. And some of the levels were a little difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting much difficulty because the first game was like mad easy. But this game actually has a substantial amount of difficulty as you go up in the ranks. I also enjoyed the voice acting in this one. It's real goofy, real funny. And I think it's just a really solid, fun game, especially for people who are new to VR. Like if you're new to VR, I would highly recommend you get like a family member or anybody else to play Gorn 2. And the real only major critique I would give this game is that it feels mad short. But honestly, for about 20 bucks, that's fine. But if you're looking for a quick, just fun gladiator power fantasy, look no further than Gorn 2. And our fourth game is Hitman VR. So I never thought, especially after being in the VR community for years, playing multiple VR games, I never thought there was gonna be a good Hitman VR port. I was proven wrong this year. Oh my God, this is so good. If you have PSVR2 and you have not played this, you're tripping. So obviously it's Hitman, so you play as Agent 47. And I think what makes this game really unique is the ridiculous amount of ways you can complete a mission. Like I saw somebody, they had to get a gun into a fortress or whatever. They literally threw it over the gate, went around and picked the gun up. Like there's so many different ways to do things, so different ways to tackle missions that it's literally a, not infinite replayability, but you can replay a level quite a few times to get different results. And what's also nice is they're actually updating the game to add more levels into VR. So there's quite a few hours of fun you can have just playing Hitman VR. Now the buying process was a little awkward and really convoluted, but once you get in, it is a good time. Like I don't even have much to say about the game because it's just good. Like I would say if you're a person who likes assassination style games, you like investigating, you like just being a secret agent assassinator, man, then yeah, you should play Hitman in VR. And if you're on PSVR2 or on a PC, they also updated the PC version to work. So either way, you can really play Hitman on your PSVR2. All right, so our fifth game is Into Black. So this is essentially if Deep Rock Galactic had like a VR baby. This game is amazing and really is one of the best VR games to come out this year. So you play as Ben Mitchell and you essentially crash on this alien planet. And so once you crash on the alien planet, you got to get materials with your little trusty robot who's voice acted very well. There's a lot of good voice acting in this game, shout out. More voice acting in VR games, please. But this game has a lot of personality. It looks great on the PSVR2. I think this was a Quest port. And so usually, and I get a little scared about Quest ports PSVR2 because some of them be kind of ugly. This one is not though. This one looks amazing. It's definitely an upgrade on the PSVR2, which is what we want. Shout out to Binary Mill for that. So once you crash land on the planet, you go on these expeditions. So once on these expeditions, you go find different materials to do upgrades, upgrade your ship, or you can just fight creatures. So the creatures are really dubious and really big in this game sometimes, but it's really fun. It can be played with co-op. So if you have a friend or two, y'all can literally hop into a lobby and just fight creatures in mine together. There's also a PvPvE mode called a Singularity. Now I didn't play it myself because I don't really care for stuff like that, but essentially an extraction mode where you fight other teams and you got to get materials out. Now, while this game isn't endless like Deep Rock Galactic, there's plenty of content to be had here. And for $30, it's actually a really good deal. This is a solid VR game for $30. So if you like mining, exploration, and stuff like that, fighting big creatures, literally go get Into Black. So our sixth game, while it did not come out this year, and yeah, I know it didn't come out this year. I hear, don't make the comment. I know, No Man's Sky VR. Now, why am I adding it to the 2025 list? Only because it has literally gotten the most updates probably out of any PSVR2 game. since the beginning of this year, and it's drastically improved over the course of a year to the point where it's a damn near brand new game. So No Man's Sky has gotten so many updates, and if you don't know what No Man's Sky is, it's essentially the space exploration game. So if you want to get your own like freighter in space, your own starship, you can do literally whatever you want. You can make a colony. You want to build a giant mech, go do that. You can do it all in VR, or if you get tired of VR, you can switch to flat, and it's seamless integration in terms of flipping between non-VR to VR. But No Man's Sky is literally, to me, in my heart of heart, the quintessential space game, especially for VR. And you go PS5 Pro, it's always also been fixed and optimized on there, so it looks way better than it used to. And honestly, it's one of the few games on the PSVR2 I can play for multiple hours on the PS5 without getting a little motion sick and stuff like that. But overall, No Man's Sky VR is just an amazing game. Like there's no better feeling than being in a spaceship, in space, looking at the stars, flying by asteroids and all that stuff in VR. It's just no other experience I can think of as somebody that's been playing VR for like 6 years now. Well, no, I guess 5 years now. It's amazing. If you haven't played No Man's Sky, and you think you're not into space games, give it a chance with some friends because you can play this co-op, and just hop in, give it a real chance, try it, and then get back to me. Our 7th game is Wanderer Fragments of Fate. So this is an older game that got remade into a newer VR game, and you can tell. So a lot of people didn't play Wanderer back in the day. I played it on PC VR, but I got to play the new version this year, and it is so many steps above that is kind of insane. So you don't see a lot of remakes in VR a lot because it's such like a new community, especially all these games are so recent. But this game genuinely is night and day from the old version. It is a time traveling puzzle game. You got to basically piece together the puzzles throughout history, and it is great. So now the voice acting is way better than it used to be. The animations are still a little stiff, but I got to give them credit because before there really wasn't any animations like that. And so now they have all these animations, all these characters. They look pretty decent especially for a studio doing it for their first try. But I give them all the credit because they took a game that had a great concept and execution, and it turned it into a real great VR game. Now, I did run into a bug here or two on the PSVR2 version, but I think at a base, just the pure story, the time traveling puzzles, and everything else just fit to make a really great experience. And it also looks pretty decent on the PSVR2. So I know everybody's not into real pew pew pow pow, games all the time, but if you want that kind of mixed in here and there, especially on Wanderer, they definitely mixed in the combat. And the combat's pretty cool. Now, I know Wanderer isn't everybody's cup of tea, especially in the PSVR2 community. I've seen the subreddits and stuff, but I genuinely think that a lot of people would like this game if they gave it a chance. So yeah, being one of the most improved VR games I've ever seen, Wanderer definitely has a special spot in my heart, and I definitely implore you guys to all play it if you like puzzle games. All right, so our 8th game is really the debatable VR game of the year for a lot of people, and it is Arken Age. So Arken Age is one of the coolest VR games that really reminds me of an old VR game called Stormland. If you ever play Stormland, you know. So in this gameplay in a terraformed world created by the Grand Arborist. So you're kind of like this plant creature thing that goes around fighting other robots and those things like that. And there's actually a surprising amount of lore in this game. So as you play the game, actually pay attention because the world building is actually pretty cool. But what makes Arken Age shine is the combat. So the combat is physics based and it's really good. Now, is it like Blade and Sorcery level? No. But you can get some real nice parries off. The gunplay feels really nice. And just attacking with the sword feels great. There's also different upgrades you can get for different weapons, and you can make your playstyle yours. There's also boss fights and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to do in each level, and it has one of the coolest climbing mechanics I've seen. So essentially you just flick up your wrist, and then this little climbing thing comes out, and you just stick it into a wall wherever you want, and you can scale up trees and stuff like that. It's really cool. There's also swimming. There's literally everything you want to do in a VR game. And the fact this was made by a smaller developer just blows my mind because they did stuff that I've seen AAA companies not be able to get right in terms of VR. So if you want a game that's made for VR by obvious people who play VR, Arken Age is it. There's a great story here, great combat, and you really couldn't ask for nothing more in this game. And not to mention, you can tell they thought out a lot of things with this game, because even the pickup mechanic is really just waving your hand around, and that saves you so much time picking up materials. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed my time with this game, and I hope you guys do too. And this came out probably around January, February. If you haven't played this by now, you're crazy. So if you got a PSVR2 or you're getting a PSVR2 for Black Friday, anything like that, dude, go pick up Arken Age. Our ninth game is Alien Rogue Incursion. So you're like, Marty, that came out in 2024. It actually came out at the end of 2024. So it skipped my last list, but I'm still counting it. And I'm counting it because it's an alien game. It's an alien game in VR, and it fits really well. So in this game, you play as a colonial marine, Zula Hendricks, and she is a badass. Like, she goes through the whole levels just handling business. So basic premise of the story is you crash land somewhere just like any other alien game, and xenomorphs are there, and you got to figure out things and how to escape. And it's crazy because I like this game so much, I even went back and played it on PC on my VR treadmill, and I had a blast. There's just so many cool mechanics in this game, like being able to pick the scanner off your arm, search around for aliens, and they will jump scare you because, whew, yeah, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing a 10-foot alien jump off a wall right to you and some of the death animations, yeah, this game is not for the weak, especially the face huggers. I hate face huggers so much because why do y'all look like that? That's just ill. The only real critique of this game is that I feel like the assault rifle is real, like, too weak, especially in the beginning. But you know, it is what it is. It's meant to take that level of horror to the next level, and it definitely does that. I feel like this game fits the PSVR 2 almost perfectly, because I mean, with the OLED screen, when you're in those dark environments and in the base, you're in the dark environments, especially in that base. Like, you really feel like you're in the dark. And with aliens everywhere, with the xenomorphs, that can pop out at any time, especially if your scanner's not on, then yeah, the tension is real. Now, is this a perfect VR game? No, but is this a damn good VR game? Yes. If you like being scared, if you like alien, if you like xenomorphs, then you need to play this like pronto. And I think they even recently came out with a non-VR version of the game. Now, I don't know how I would like this game without the VR, but I heard it was okay. So if you don't want the VR version, then go check that out. But before I move on, I must say that this game has some of the most tense atmosphere of a lot of VR games that I've played, hands down. All right, guys, before we get into our last game, make sure you check out VRrock.com for prescription lenses. I realize a lot of you guys wear your glasses in your PSVR 2. That's not good, man. You can scratch your lenses up, it's just not good. Go to VRrock.com, get some prescription lenses, use code MartyDude, get 10% off. Help me, help you, save some money, man. Just go there. They literally have great shipping, great handling, and I've never had a problem with it. So yeah, go to VRrock.com, man. All right, our last game actually just came out, but I enjoyed it so much, I'm adding it to the list. This is RoboQuest. So this is a Flat 2 VR game from Flat 2 VR Studios. And the reason why this game is so important, because this is part of a bigger push to port existing AA to AAA games to VR. So this game, I've never actually played the flat version, but I did look up some gameplay, and it looks way more fun than VR, I'll be honest with you. So Flat 2 VR did a great job porting this, because they know VR gamers know we want movement. We want different levels of combat. If you want to actually reload your gun, you can do that. If you want to tap a button, you can do that. It can be arcade, it can be whatever you want. Now, the art style does remind me of Borderlands a little bit. I think that's why I like it so much, because it actually has a lot of difficulty to it. And you can also play it co-op, which is really cool. Now, I don't think the co-op is out yet for the PSVR 2 version, but the game's good, man. It's a really good game, and they have a roadmap of content they're going to add in the future. And I'm actually excited to see where this game goes. But a quick synopsis of the story is that the future is overrun by machines, by big old nasty robots. And you're a big old nasty robot, and you gotta help figure it out. So they're basically fighting fire with fire, and you're the fire. But you can pick up different weapons around the map, you can pick up different perks. It is a lot of different upgrades you can do at base, and it's just a really good game. It's a solid roguelike. Now, I know a lot of people in the VR community are tired of roguelikes, and I was too, I'm not gonna lie. But this one is actually really good. It's a different take on the formula, and actually great combat with a story. I also didn't expect there to be so many guns in the game. You can even get like a slingshot. There's a lot of different guns in this game. I even grabbed a kunai at one point. I was throwing it at the robots, and I was like, dang, there's a lot of different items and stuff you can get while playing. So if you're in the shop for another roguelike that's actually high quality, that actually has a story, that actually has meaning and purpose when you play it, then go play RoboQuest, man. All right, guys, that is it for my PSVR 2 top 10 games list. Psych. I got one more game, man. Yeah, it's actually 11. I lied on the thumbnail, ha ha. So our last game, and which is really an honorable mention, but I gotta mention it every year because it's that goddamn good. Resident Evil 4, man. We gotta talk about Resident Evil 4. Now, a lot of you guys have probably played it. A lot of you guys have not played it because you don't know it exists because you just got your PSVR2 or you're about to get one. So I'm gonna tell you about it because I'm a good person. So Resident Evil 4 is one of my top 10 VR games. I played a bunch of PC VR games, PSVR2 games, MetaQuest games, but Resident Evil 4 makes my top, really my top 5. Top 5 VR games of all time. Out of all the VR games I reviewed, is that damn good. So as you guys know, the Resident Evil 4 had a remake that came out a few years ago, and they made a VR port for it, and it's damn near 1-1 with the base game, and really creepy. Now, it's not all the interactivity of like a Half-Life Alyx, but it looks great on PSVR 2, runs great, doesn't have a PS5 Pro upgrade, but honestly, it still looks good. So if you're in the shop for a creepy kind of Resident Evil-esque experience, and you want to go through Resident Evil 4 if you've never played it before, great gunplay, really creepy enemies, great boss fights, and is overall a very dope upgraded game. So yes, that's why I included it on this list, even though it didn't come out nowhere near this year. It's just that good. And on every list, until I stop doing PSVR 2 content, we're gonna glaze Resident Evil 4 because it's just great, man. It's just a really good game. All right, guys, it's actually the end of my list. Let me know what PSVR 2 games you guys actually played this year, man. Now, I couldn't really get to a lot of PSVR 2 reviews this year, guys, because I mean, I had another kid. And your boy been busy, been very busy. So been doing a lot of PC VR reviews, but I'm gonna make sure I show my PSVR 2 community some love. If you've been on PSVR 2 PC or wondering about it, I have a video going over the setup process. I did a 2-month review, a 6-month review, then a 1-year review of the PSVR 2 on PC. And soon I'm gonna do another review for the PSVR 2 for PS5 and PC in one video. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, come back, hit the notification bell, come back and see your boy. With that being said, it's MartydudeVR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a lot of VR headsets. Peace.